garden stream, and we are now live, and the weather has been pretty bad, so everything was delayed by some time. But now there is no rain, and we just look at the stormy garden. All right, we also hear some roosters in the background, and now we'll be looking through here. Let's see. Okay, and now we see this right here. You see, this plant has gotten very big because it has a very strong growth mechanisms in it. Very powerful. Right? And see right here, now there's some dark skies right there. Because, this is all good morning, Poppy. Great to see you, buddy. Weather's been kind of bad, but we are here now. And, all the plants got, water, and it's a little bit chilly. A little bit chilly. I'm a little bit surprised, but it is. All right. So, speaking of weather, go into the thing. I hope you're doing well, Poppy. There are things going on about alleged cloud seeding from the chemtrails that cause different weather patterns, and so that's if that is true. I mean, certainly inside of those chemtrails are being eventually dumped as rain on us, even if it's nothing bad. Like if it's no bad intentions behind it. I am doing fine. I had a good stream earlier, which was the computer live stream. Good morning, Chris. Great to see you. So yeah, I'm doing fine. I did the computer live earlier, and we had a good stream, and the rain has stopped. It got pretty wet, so we're able to do this. And was this something I'm reiterating is that I'm surprised about how cool it is. But it is what it is. It's not. I wasn't expecting that, but it is here. So yeah, the chemtrails, from what we've talked about before, are definitely concerning, even if it's nothing really bad. But it is something very bad. There's whistleblowers that say there's bad chemicals in it, no harmful chemicals. So all that's coming down as rain when it comes here. It's concerning. And then you got those. They're good. Right, and then you get the flowers we usually look at, and they're kind of rained down, so to speak. Yeah. Oh, hello, Snow Scared. Yeah, we're a chemtrail, a rained chemtrail garden. Yeah. Where all the rain has fallen from after chemtrail dumpings, and then we have this. Yeah, that's kind of like a spooky scene right there. You see, and you have like the palm tree is kind of working. Yeah, that's bubbles. Shout the bubbles. And I hear the little critters. I don't know what they are exactly, but I hear them crinkling, making their squeak. That's not even squeaky noise. I don't even know what it is, but it's some sort of noise that they make. So I think chemtrails are concerning, and I don't know exactly what they're dumping on everybody, but I know that the chemicals aren't really that good from hearsay from people that have been there. And But as I said, it's good that the garden gets, rain. That's a good thing. And that is, something to look into because a lot of times with crops, things like that, they will do control over it and they could take out crops or keep crops by depending on what they dump on them. All right. If Bill Clinton and Trump had a child, what do you think they would look like? I would think it would. It could go either way. It could say it's like Bill Clinton with Trump's hair. I mean, that could be like some sort of hybrid between both of their features. That would be a really interesting thing to see, and some people might be scared. But yeah, that I assume something like that. And bro, you need to worry about way deeper things and trails caused by aircraft that aren't actually chemtrails. Well, what should I be worried about, just a guy? Enlighten me. You have a right mindset, but you're the beginning of a conspiracy iceberg. You need to get through the BS first, like chemtrails. Okay, just a guy. Use your brain a little bit and tell me what I need to be concerned about. Because you're not concerned about the everything in your basement. You should be concerned about. So tell me what I should be concerned about. It's the water. Right. Definitely. And I think it is extremely important for people to have another concept of all these MK Ultra things that have been coming out. It is important that those people with MK Ultra get exposed that are doing that stuff because there's they could do lots of mass mind control with that, and there's issues with those scientists that have all been going missing. So the Congress is talking about them. Just a guy. You're not stupid. Explain to me exactly what the other things should be concerned with. It's an open discussion. You're right to disagree. What is it I need to be concerned about? You're not an idiot. But once you figure out the government silences you. But yeah, a lot of times they do silencing. Now it began back when people talked about aliens, they would talk about the men in black. All right, to the shadow realms you go. There we go. He was too stupid because the basement fumes to talk about what I need to be worried about, so he goes off to the shadow realms. All right. All right. So smart dust. All right. The end of the world is already here. They're definitely not aliens or demons. Now, do you think time travelers, Brandon? The aliens? What do you think the aliens might be? Hello, saw girl. So let's see. You're wasting your time. There is no aliens. Okay, I respect your opinion. Now, in my view, there are aliens because there's so many sightings have been documented by so many people, and it could be government craft or something like that. But I definitely are people that have had encountered them. But something else I want you to take into consideration is before we were here in ancient Rome and ancient civilizations in the 1400s, etc. People saw UFOs like what we see now. And in ancient mythologies, they talked about these types of flying machines and these gray looking people that were in these flying machines. So it's been around for thousands of years before we were here. There's something, I think. They're angelic beings with vast knowledge, heaven and earth. Okay, Brandon, thank you for your take. I do believe, like, for instance, there's Ezekiel's wheel, right? And that is similar to a UFO. And the wheels within wheels, the Ophium. So yeah, they're definitely angelic beings that are qualified as UFOs or aliens. I believe there's good and bad ones, like there's angels and demons. Okay, so I think there are bad ones too, but definitely there are angelic ones. Okay, Salgaro. Okay. Okay, Brandon said it's a Grumman craft Lockheed Martian just released. The fact that they got technology to change spaceship shapes and size mid-flight. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you because these things can like break apart in pieces and then reassemble back together in midair. It's just things that can't beyond our comprehension with our technology we have now. And then you got this other factor where the aliens can, or whatever they are, can just go underwater and then they could come out of the water. Oh, chat is a spider right here. Scared. So that is something else that I think is quite fascinating. They're able to do. Yeah, Shadow Girl scared. Yeah, it is like a jungle. Okay, okay, Scott. Yeah, yeah. In the Bible, it says that the good and evil angels travel to and fro the earth with their chariots. Amen. I am. That's very true. They travel from the earth to here with their chariots. The chariots of fire. I think that is how I'm not hunting anything. I'm just looking at nature. Okay, and right here, this is just some big giant log thing, and we're going out this way. Oh, why chariots, not Ferraris? Okay, I because the chariots are what is described to us, or that at least that's what our way of knowledge is about it. Thank you, Box. I agree. God bless you too. Amen. And let's see. This here. Yeah, Ferraris. Yeah, I think Ferraris would be a way we would describe it now. And but back then they only knew them as chariots, but now we would call them Ferraris. Right. Okay, and Snow says, yeah, smart dust is top secret weapon. Talking about gets you flashed, I think. Yeah, yeah. So it's basically like we live in like a spy movie with all these different equipments and different aliens and things, but they try to keep it as concealed as possible. The Matrix is cracking. It was written by men, and I will say they weren't just written by men. It was written by men from ancient times that didn't know about the technology that we have today. They didn't understand. They see a spaceship in the sky or a UFO, they think it's a chariot because in that time period they didn't know any way to describe it. Not just any type of men, but people that were just lacked the technology or knowledge about technology that we have now. For instance, there is Morning Odin. Yes, it's a true horsepower. The Venudas from India, they call them flying fortresses, but it's similar to the concept of the starships from Star Wars, right? But they call them flying fortresses. So that is a concept that definitely we have from them, right? It's just the ancient people called it something different. Oh, thank you, I am, for subscribing. Appreciate y'all that do hit the like button and sub. Appreciate it. And in these aliens, whatever they are, they're angels or whatever, or both. They have these flying machines, and they can do things we can't do. And I will also mention, as I said, they're in the oceans. Yeah, good crop. Yes. Yeah, Captain Jack likes his compass. It leads him to what's most. That's a very metaphorical compass in that movie. It's almost like a self reflection compass. Yeah. Yeah. So I think chemtrails are being used to dump on people, and they seem to have dangerous, you know, attributes about them. They can be very messed up and spreading unknown toxins on humans. So definitely need to stop. Yeah. Imagine if I get lost. Scared. Oh, and the Vikings are extremely clever with the few resources they had. They had the Sunstone, and they're able to navigate the seas. I will say they were very good at navigating the seas, and they were able to go from one place to another place on the sea. And remember, they're very brave too. And like the North Sea is so treacherous. Like if treacherous, if like there's these big ships, cargo ships that go in the Northern Sea, right? And they're very huge waves, and they had these little dinghy boats, these little like these little boxes, these little Timu boats that they would go on, and they would be able to survive their journey. And I personally believe they fought sea monsters too because they're a type of cryptid, like the Kraken. The Kraken's something from Scandinavian lore, right? So it's then they brought it to the Caribbean, the that type of concept because they were seeing them in the Caribbean too. So the the Vikings, they got around. They made it to the British Isles. They made it to Spain. They even went to the Middle East. They went everywhere. They they're all over the place. Exactly. Their trade routes, and successfully guided through the seas to go to they raid. They did because they're basically like pirates. They're Scandinavian pirates, right? And they did what they could to survive. And the mythology is extremely fascinating too. At the same time, travel through wormholes. Well, maybe the god. Well, they had gods that went through different dimensions, but the Vikings themselves most likely traveled through the sea, unless they were given some. I don't know if they have portal stories they went through. If they went through a portal or something, maybe so. That's a good question, Odin. I wonder that too. I wonder what told them about it, or or how they got it. That's a good question. I I do wonder how that worked, and I don't know the answer, but I wouldn't put it past them if they had some divine help about that, because whoever helped them, or whoever, if they did it themselves, or if they had divine help, or something, someone revealed it, or something revealed it to them, like their gods or something. That would be a very fascinating thing to uh, that they did that and they're able to get through the seas they need to get through. Yeah, exactly, Odin. Exactly. And yeah, and then we have Brandon says, "I'll tell you this, bro. Just wait about a year, and you'll see digital IDs being mandatory in the right hand, the forehead. One world leader, and then you'll know that the Bible is true. That they're demons. They're reptilian, shape-shifting Nephilim. Amen, Brandon. I agree with you completely about that, and I believe in the Bible strongly, and I do believe that's going to happen at some point, maybe even next year. So, yeah, amen. I do agree. And whoever doesn't accept the mark of the beast is going to have problems with the Antichrist. So, and which is a wicked entity. Thank you. They say Christopher Columbus came to a spaceship, not a boat. Oh, they came on a spaceship, not a boat. Yes, never comply with the one world order. Right. And and also what they did was it's actually Columbus did see he did see a USO before he got here to the Americas. You know, that is what happened. He saw these USOs flying around the sky, and they came from underwater. So Columbus did see a UFO, or what's called a USO. He saw a UFO came from underwater. UFOs came from underwater and were flying around his sailing ship. So he saw them too, and many pirates and people like that saw flying things in the sky they couldn't explain. Oh yeah, yeah, they do shapeshift. Yeah, right. A fight with my gods to resist the push or the one world order. Oh, amen, Odin. That is good that you do that because the the demonic entities of the NWO New World Order, they want to seek the ruin of all souls and all people. So that is good that y'all will fight. You and your gods will fight against them. They are truly evil and wicked, and they want to. There's recorded back and past. These things wanted. They sacrifice kids and stuff to this thing. Is To this bull horned entity that's head of the New World Order thing. So yeah, it's good that you will fight against them because they are wicked. The elites and stuff. Oh, high the room city shapeshifts. Oh, Jeff. I guess she's part of the Illuminati then. Arg, Mark. I'm doing good. We're on the Stormy Garden right now. Yeah. Was it Steve Jobs or Bill Gates said if you don't accept a digital ID, you'll be exiled? That was um my knowledge. That was Bill Gates. Steve Jobs was not involved with the New World Order. Um, well, he did create Apple, and Apple may be a tool used by them, but no, he was. It was Bill Gates that was into this stuff, and Steve Jobs didn't advocate for that. And by the way, Steve Jobs passed away in 2011, and he was not into that stuff. We should all go to the old ways of being connected with Earth, even if you don't believe in paganism. Oh, I think the connection with the Earth is very important. That's one thing I love about nature. Like, I always like being in nature and hanging out in it. It's very cool to see, and I believe it's a creation that definitely is where we would feel the most natural at. So, a very good point. Because nature brings us so much cool uh, joy and tranquility. Yeah. Ah, good, Scott. Well done. Yes, definitely, Odin. And Scott said that's why they spray barium and aluminum in the air. Yeah, that's what they're spraying in the air, my opinion, and it's raining down on us. And it's causing us lots of problems. People's health, with the nature in general. It's basically toxic and poisoning. Yeah, the poison toxic chem resistance. Yeah, because of a lot of times from what I've observed from different people is that when it rains, that is what they usually do when it rains. They will go, and after the chemtrails are there, it starts raining badly. Yeah, and all over the place. Yeah, now there's rain. Exactly. It's as if people documented the chemtrails. It's like chemtrails are there, then it expands, gets huge, and then it dissolves, and then a bunch of rain happens. It's almost like casting spells. And oh my rain say it so. Yeah, not all rain is from them, but it seems that some rainstorms can be produced by cloud seeding. Okay, so there's oh yeah, we said the same thing, Odin. Facts. There's something called cloud seeding, and it's very possible that they cloud seeded certain storms and events. Now they could use this technology for good. They can go and have the technology be used to help with people that have deserts or have drought. They could bring rain to Africa or the Middle East, different places that have problems. But it's pretty messed up what they do, to our environment. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Exactly. They consider it a spell. A part of the chemtrail deal to turn zombies cause its heavy metals make people go crazy. The CDC released actual zombie apocalypse warning. Oh, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Because that's what they want to do. They want to keep the people stuck in the matrix. Oh, I'm glad Gerald has no chemtrails. That's good. He's a very smart dolphin. And to live next to airport, it would never stop raining here if that was true. It would quick. It depends. It's not the same thing as an airplane. Okay, it's a different. It's strategic areas that they go and dump stuff down. I'm not even saying every single storm is from them. I'm just saying that allegedly, apparently, some of the storms came from them. Right. Right. Don't worry too much about the world. Fear mongering is also their goal. I definitely agree with you, and we cannot be afraid. We cannot live in fear. We have to also enjoy life. That's what we're doing right now. We're enjoying this nice garden and all these different wild plants and the nature that we're in right now. It's a balance between both. And there's people that want to discuss these things uh, that want to have a voice about their opinion. So we're having that now. I don't fear anybody, by the way. And I think a lot of times chaos is essential for growth because I think that there's without affliction, there can be no true success. So it's important to have not peace alone, but chaos. Yeah, them. Exactly. Life. We'd be happy with different opinions. They're all welcome. There's no people that want to troll or something. That's different. But yeah, different opinions are welcome. Walk through the darkness valley, darker than shadow of death. Fear no man, I will fear no evil. Amen. I agree with you. His rod and staff comforteth me. He maketh me lie by green pastures and still waters. He will prepareth a table before my enemies, and I shall fear no evil. Amen. Amen. That's true. We would have no true progress if there was no disagreements. And I believe people all have different opinions about different things, and no one gets it 100% right. And that is just makes us human, and it's a positive thing. Snow, in my opinion, I think it is from the same government, but it's also global. It's a global thing about the United Nations, right? It's a global alliance between all these countries together. So it makes a board, right? A board of countries governing over the entire world. So it's something like that. But yes, ours specifically is very, very, involved in it. Or the US. Yes, correct. Heart machines make the weather. That is true. And with MK Ultra, which is a mind control operation, they can project impulses out in the world to cause more people to fall away. Also, not the same movement in Netherlands. We have planes from America. Flight patterns, no weather modification. I believe not happening here. Well, maybe it's not happening there, but I think it's happening globally. I mean, there's an issue with butterflies disappearing, which I think has to do with the people, with the pesticides they're spraying over there. But maybe they're not doing it over there, but I think they have to be. I think it's a subject of the UN, most likely. I think it's happening over there too, but I don't really know for certain. Okay, you don't think it's happening there? I don't live there, so thank you for your take on that. By the way, Netherlands are very beautiful. Tulips was a currency in the Netherlands a long time ago. It was more valuable than gold at one time. So tulips are very beautiful. When a jet run, it's stuck a lot. Moisture gets heated, turns to steam, then condensates when it cools, leaving a condensation trail. That is correct. That is true. But two things be true at once. That mechanism may be being used for some craft to go that far high up in the atmosphere to go dump stuff down. And there's whistleblowers that have talked about it too. But yes, that is also true too. There's something else they are experimenting in the Netherlands. Oh, okay. Yeah, 17th century. And I'm part Dutch from uh, Germany. I'm part German and different Germanic. I'm related to also to other Germanic countries too. So it's pretty cool. I like the Netherlands. And let's see. Well, plants survived nukes in Japan, so I think they'll be okay. Yeah, yeah. Japan came back. The different plants and stuff came back. There was one structure in Japan that did not get blasted by the nuclear bomb, and it was a ancient structure, and it survived pretty much everything. Mother Nature will be here. That's true. Yeah, plant power. And as I said, it is very cool out here, surprisingly, but it is what it is. I like cool weather anyway, so but it's interesting. I didn't really expect it. So, do you know that much about 52 pack playing cards like 52 weeks, four suits, four senses, seasons? Everyone has a card. Mine six of spades, I think. Mark, that is a very great analogy. I didn't think of it in that way. That's very cool. I guess we all do. My card is usually the six spades. Mine is the ace of spades. That's the one I. That's a card I always liked when I play games. That usually got me a swift victory. Right, and yeah, green power. Yeah. Well, the sun runs out of fuel, it swells in a red giant, and it cooks us. Yeah, eventually Earth will be consumed by it at some point. It'll, overwhelm our Earth, and then it just kind of clocks us out. Yeah. But I think some Earth will probably destroy itself by then with these deceptive government entities that want to try to destroy humanity. Right, and aliens manufactured chem dust. Yeah, I believe that. No one escapes alive. That is true. Hey, Earthy. Good morning, dude. Oh, welcome. It's nice to see you. Yeah, these are the things I was talking about where it looks like wheat, but it's actually, I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of swamp grass. Quick, they want to destroy humanity because they want to feed off of us, like from the adrenochrome. They also want to extract the resources for themselves and their own preservation. They want a spiritual supremacy to be like God, and they want to just drain the resources from us like a vampire, pretty much. Okay, Earthy, I'll take a look at it. Sure. Oh, it was a cold front in Texas last week. Okay, Brandon. Would it be bad quick? Okay. And opposite, and they want to destroy humanity because they don't comply. Yeah. It's kind of like the totalitarian regimes. And that is something that we have to understand as well. And with the totalitarianism, I think that's part of it, just like in Russia, just like in, these Germany, these different countries. And that is what I think, personally as well, with these things. It's also totalitarianism and control. Scott said, and thank you, Earthy. It's very cool research, and I'm glad that you went and posted it over in the Discord. It it definitely, and also you put different instructions stuff about it. Definitely something I'll be looking more into later. Yeah, let's see, and let's see this right here. Here, yeah. This is the Lord says He will destroy us by fire. Right. Okay, and also I believe. Let's see. I was getting insanely strong hits last night. Oh, good, good. And David said they want to take the Harley, but yeah, let's see. Anyway, so I was getting insanely strong hits last night. Okay, quick, which mother of all movies, The Matrix? Yeah, The Matrix is a great movie, and it explains a lot of stuff that we're going through right now. And breaking the Matrix, things of that nature is, I think, quite fascinating that they do. Right, and Earthy says I also talked to Amelia Earhart. She sounds like Minnie Mouse. Okay, okay, it's very very fascinating. And you mean you made up a movie is what you're going on? It actually would be this everything I'm talking about would be a pretty cool movie. What I'm explaining to y'all as I walk through this woods and explain things about aliens. It certainly would be a good movie. So it's almost like truth is stranger than fiction. Right, and you mean it made so yeah. Anyway, so that is what we do in these different situations. We go and explore these concepts, and we do the remote viewing and see these interesting concepts. So here we go. It was talked like Minnie Mouse, but her accent sounded like from the time. Okay. Elephant in your plant's getting big. But yeah, so okay, you have a lot of these. Emilia crashed and survived and was eaten by tribes. She talked exactly how women from the night at the museum too did. Oh, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Right. And yeah, I mean people like definitely have a right to try out their different experiments and stuff. It's quite a fascinating concept. So, oh, there's a CIA did remote viewing, and one of them saw in Egypt the the pyramids on Mars. That's what one of the remote viewers saw. So it's definitely something that is being hidden by the deep state. Her and her co-pilot were eaten. That's pretty messed up. Well, scared. Well, at first I asked for a random specific scenario from the past, and so it happened to be the scenario was standing by her plane. Wow. Scared. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, but I guess somebody was on a plane. They crashed somewhere. So Shaq could help me with this. So this woman crashed in a plane, and the cannibals ate her. You know, that sounds like a very fascinating concept there. Oh, CERN. Yeah, I believe CERN is an entity that they're using these atom colliders to try to do different things scientifically, but what it's doing is it's clashing with our dimension, and it may have put us in the Mandela effect, where it ruined things from our timeline. Absolutely earthy. Okay, so Odin said she was trying to go around the globe at first female pilot. Oh, okay. She was very brave to do that attempt. And interesting, she didn't say anything. Saw her in a classic still shot. Interesting. And yeah, that is what. And this is a tree right here, by the way. Yeah. So that is what they saw. And these people, they were going to these islands, and they were exploring these different concepts. But sometimes there's tribes. I mean, Fiji had cannibals all over it, ironically. And pretty much said hello, and that was purpose. And Okay, so thank you, Odin. Right. So, people have, a right to whatever they're doing. I mean, it's just this place is where we could have open discussions about things that some can't handle. Right. And that is so basically, for instance, the people that are crazy enough to change the world, are the ones that do. All right. So you have to have an open discussion about these things that people have. It's important. So yeah, well, people could ask questions, be curious about what he's doing. That's what it is. Yeah, people do suck. I mean, people think that I'm nuts for going on these streams in the middle of the woods and talking about aliens. People think I need to be locked up. Mark said, I'll shuffle the cards, and my card was the first opposite. Was the second card that freaked me out a bit. Not touched the card since scared. CERN has private technology that would the world shouldn't know yet. And oh yeah, Earthy, Rose wants to know exactly like what you did. Was it like is it like time travel, or she wants to know if you were absorbing the energy, or was it like a time travel? She was just curious. Yeah, Odin, I don't play with those things either. Scared. Certainly demonic. And yeah, exactly. Very well said, Rose. Yeah, and people are free to ask questions, yeah, respectfully, that want to learn about what's going on. It's pretty cool, right? And this is a pumpkin plant right here. We are open to opinions and questions, uh, not nonsense and disrespect. Okay, and then we have some more of this random plant growing here that I didn't see. See which one this is. It's probably those um, ragweed things. I've never even heard of Kratos. I don't even know what that is. It's probably from Greek. All right, and the Ouija boards are evil. I only had a horrible experience when I was 16. Only did I once ever do again. Okay, yeah, I think the Ouija boards open up something to a different dimension. I think that is something that they do, and they, yeah, because I never heard of it before. Thanks, Odin. And there's so many people that have had like really messed up experiences because you're opening up demonic entities that are coming out. Yeah, and see, there's the thing, Rose, is that sometimes people are not. Some people, yeah, people, if they disagree, they can disagree with what someone says. But there's like a lot of trolls here that are just saying it to get a reaction. So that is the thing that we have to separate from the trolls from the people that are like just asking questions. So not everybody's going to agree with everything. But it's just there's lots of trolls that come in here and act stupid. Right. Right. And that is interesting. So basically, what I think in these situations is that when we have these different things and viewing what is going on, is that okay? Let's see. Opinions on the bioluminescent bugs that are being spotted across America. Understood. Rose is noted on the record. Okay. No, he said they need to be put in a mental asylum. Yeah, he may have said crazy, but he said they need to be put in a mental asylum, which was it seemed to be like a trolling thing. That the chat thought. There was something else that was said that seemed lean more into trolling. It's just sometimes hard to tell like who's trolling, who isn't. And oh, there's so many weird things going on in life that I think it is extremely fascinating what they do. Right? I think it's fascinating about what the. It's very messed up, but fascinating because there's supposed to be these ticks. Oh, hello, Grampy. Welcome to the stream. Shout out to you and Sharon. Yeah, I'll show you some plants. So yeah, there's these ticks that can make people allergic to meat. So now there's bioluminescent bugs wandering around. Yeah, this is okra. Oh, okay, Odin and Rose. Everybody, thank you for your feedback. Okay, so yeah, so this is okra, and yeah, I just think it's very important to see uh, the bugs that you're speaking of. I've not heard of them, but that's pretty messed up that they're doing that. Right. So we have these right here. And let's go this way. And these are two tomato plants. I think there's lots of weird experiments going on. And yeah, shield wall. And it's really messed up about what they're doing. So I don't know if they're experiments that are being released or what. But yeah, it's definitely a messed up thing indeed. Yeah. All right. Lice says there's been lots of videos covering all different species popping up with weird colors. Oh, thank you, uh, Life a script. Glad to know. That right there is broccoli. Okay, and this is just some ornamental plants. What's the gelatin stuff? It might just be something on the plant. Well, it did just rain, and it might just be the way the plant is. Yeah, so it rained, so it's gonna be a little bit more gelatin looking, or just the way the plant is. All right, and this is the tree right here. Oh, okay. It's like breathing. I don't know if they're making hybrid. They must be making hybrid bugs, or maybe they're being released, or they're just other mutations happening. I'm not exactly certain, but that is something very interesting to look into. Thanks. All right, and let's see. Scott says the Bible, deep state, something that makes the Bible show history repeat itself. What's with the orbs, UAPs, and Vietnam War? I believe America has learned how to manipulate the weather. Yeah, I agree. They also did Agent Orange. Right, and well, hello, internet grandma. Good to see you, and internet grandpa too. Nice to see both of you. And yeah, this is like the Jurassic Park right here. And yes, and Rose is curious to learn more. Yeah, and Rose, we will tell you more about these things over time, especially about these remote viewings and stuff like that that we were talking about. Will pass on to you as well. It's interesting stuff, yeah. And interesting, make sure you get several references, info, AI videos can be deceiving. Yeah, and oh, that is something that I also have to be aware of is if the because I'm thinking about these neon or these glow in the dark now insects, now things we made with AI, and there's also a theory that the AI was put there to trick people into thinking the videos they're seeing are fake. This is crazy, but there's videos that are coming out about paranormal creatures, but they're trying to convince us that they're not paranormal creatures, but they're AI, but they're actually real. Okay, look at this, chat. I don't know how this is gonna go, but the sky is turning bright. All of a sudden, it just shifted. We're getting closer to day now, and all the birds are chirping. Do you believe the theory that P-47 and P-52 aliens are just from the future, like the missing scientists stated before they went missing? I don't know what they are exactly for certain. I think that that is true. One of the theories is that they're us in the future. I do believe that is true. Now, I just want you to let you know something: is that they could be lying. They could be lying, and they're really from another planet or another dimension. Something that could be demonic entities. So there's a couple of different theories on what they could be exactly. Yup, it was a spaceship. Okay, so tell you what the missing scientist. I have none of those types of plants in this yard, by the way. But thanks for the tip. But oh, if I had those plants, I'd show y'all. If I had those plants, definitely. But I wouldn't hide anything I grow. But the plants, spot plants, we don't have any of those here. But if I had it, I'd show y'all. So the missing scientists are these people. There's like 15 of them or so now. They were dealing with allegedly with anti gravity technology. That's what they were doing. And what happened was they shifted. They were going to maybe expose it, or they kept talking about it. Some of them were extremely like vocal about it. Like this one woman was, extremely vocal about her experience with it and how like about the aliens and the technology and stuff. So they're either working on a project secretly and they sequestered them, or they were deleted, they were silenced for what they know. Or another theory is that they had a problem where they wanted to hide their because the aliens had this very advanced technology that would help our world be a much more stable place over what we see now. So that is why. And also Chinese scientists are disappearing too. Yes, that is true, Odin. Yeah. And yes, thank you, Life. They were also studying plasma orbs. What are your thoughts on them leaving wallets and car keys before they went missing? It's possible they were under some MK Ultra mind control. MK Ultra is this organization that completely ruins people and everything else. That's what they do with MK Ultra. So it is very possible that they're using them to put their keys down and everything, and they kept them kidnapped, or they kidnapped them and they left their keys, their wallets, whatever, behind, or they're working on a secret project somewhere. And when they worked on their secret project, they had to leave everything behind and stage a disappearance. But I think that it's something nefarious is going on, and they were taken from us unjustly. But I don't know exactly what the truth may be. So remember, Rose, they're dealing with antimatter technology, and they're exposing things about alien tech. Do you know who's paying for Christmas presents? It's not Santa, Satan. No, it's us, tax included. Scared. Odin said, "I think they were scooped up, help build a government place to live in case of destruction." That very well may be too. A very good point. And the Crystal King, scientists are more than likely studying coming to event via something else. Hello, Dale. So that is so Rose. The Manhattan Project. There are people in the Manhattan Project that went missing, right? But they're working on the atomic bomb. So maybe the scientists are either working on a project, what Odin's saying, but they knew a lot of knowledge about antimatter and anti gravity technology. If you had that technology, it would completely change the landscape, how everything works between the elites, right? Like, say you have gas and oil and electricity. If there's a type of technology that people can use that you don't need that anymore, it would flip the economy upside down. So that is a theory about why they went missing. That they were being silenced for knowing about the anti gravity technology. Now, I'll tell you this, Rose, is that they did know about UFOs and aliens. And McCaslin was exposing stuff about UFOs. And if you see the interview of one of the women that went missing, she was talking. Oh, they actually deleted herself. She was talking about this alien from thousands of years ago, from thousands of years from now, that will come into our realm. Right, this time traveling alien, and it's us in the future. And they went and they had a secret technology that they didn't want to be, people to have. So that was another thing that they were working on. And it is very plausible they were. Oh yes, yes, absolutely, Grampy, definitely. Right, yeah, exactly, Odin. So yeah, Yeah, so Rose, they either were working on a project somewhere and they didn't want them to uh, be in the public eye for privacy reasons, or they knew information that they didn't want to be let out because they were actively exposing it. And remember, the guy from Ancient Aliens, many people from Ancient Aliens were deleted too, have died recently, and they're exposing things like the Illuminati and the deep state and the anti-gravity technology. So that is the other factor. They're trying to hide, they're trying to silence them because they're going to expose something, or that they're going to use them for a secret experiment, that they're trying to work on. And one of the people that was trying to assassinate the president was also working with NASA, was a scientist. So I do, and also in China, they're going missing too. So there's another part that maybe there's a war going on where they're taking out a different scientists on both sides, but like a war between China and America with the scientist thing. Yes. Oh, they're actually committing. Some of them are dying and committing suicide. There is a David Cox that recently committed suicide, and he said that he would never delete himself, and he was exposing things about the Illuminati, etc. Yeah, yeah, Amy, that's another possibility because big pharma needs to stay in power, and the cancer cures, although the cancer treatments can work for people. They may have better treatments that they're not showing to people because they make money from this other thing. Right. Well, you got a giant cricket grasshopper thing. It looks like a locust to me, but you got a thing right there chilling on the leaf. Ah, hello, hilarious Rose. Hello, Sage. What about the aliens who are locked away still? Oh, okay. At Area 51, those aliens, well, they're being experimented on. Not the human aliens, if you're talking about them, but the aliens from space. Oh, this man said wand jokes. Scared. All right, Life says, well, it's weird because these spaceships have been seen in places, even in the ancient history, so time travelers make a lot of sense. Yeah, that make whatever y'all think makes sense to you, that's what it is. Lord Pepe says, "I'm here, my dear Padawans. Mighty ruler of the cosmos have appeared to dear disciples." Okay. Anna, I think it's a cricket, but it could be a locust. Maybe I don't think it's a locust at all, but it's like a very big grasshopper. That's what it is. This thing flies too. It's chased. I've been chased by this thing before. Yeah, I agree, Life, and we're not all going to agree on the same thing. So I think this type of open discussion is very important. Hey, Roman, you think it's a cicada? It's too thin to be a cicada. It could be, but it's too thin to be a cicada. But it could be. We have, yeah, it's just a little bit too big to be a cicada. It looks like Jimmy the Cricket. Okay, it looks like Jimmy Cricket. Yeah. And Lindsay, the trial is in is over. By the way, let's see this. Yeah, I think so. Life. The word sounds like Gerald. It's about to do something. It might be a field cricket, a tree cricket, or something. These things can fly all over the place. Yep, that's what I think too. Good to see you, Lindsay. So yeah, there's scientists that are missing in China and the United States. So don't know exactly what happened to them, but they are somewhere in the world. I think it could be a locust. I'm not too sure though. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see. It's not a locust. No, it's too. They're. This is too green looking. Like they have missing scientists as well. If they do, then been silent about at least there's news I've heard. All right, and also that is the thing with this right here. Right, and anyway, that is the thing about it right here. Yeah, this is from another angle. It's very long legs. Thanks, Tony. Glad you like the elephant ears. Oh, I didn't know that the Russians are also going missing too. Oh, glad you like plants. Yeah, this is very long legs. Life. I thought you said the Russian scientists are going missing. Oh, I don't know if their scientists are going missing. Just I stand corrected. Telling you, if you get him to top a hat and a little cane, it's Jimmy Cricket. I hear you. We have Jimmy Cricket on the in the garden right now. Jimmy Cricket has crashed the party. Oh yeah, I have no idea if the Russian scientists are going missing. Yeah, nothing I can see. I'm from Planet 10. That's where I'm from. Ah, okay, let's see this. Okay. Thank you. Glad you like the camouflage. Bubbles is probably in the other yard. But by the way, yeah, this is a Jimmy Cricket right here. Right. Thought there was only 8. That's cool. Oh, there's a whole sea of them. This is all the elfin ear plants. In 2017, I put 2 here, and then their descendants grew everywhere. So no, they're all over this. They're all over this place. Oh, and Odin's from one of the 9 realms. Yeah. Yes. Uranus. Yeah, hilarious rose. Okay. So these are primroses right here. Now there's gonna be no sun because it's overcast. Midgard. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we taught aliens here. Yeah. This is okra plants right here. Well, lawmakers have speculated that Russia might be involved in targeting U.S. scientists. The search results do not cite similar pattern missing and deceased scientists within Russia itself. I saw a UFO on the horizon, an orb on the horizon one time. One time in the really back part of the woods, I saw a light blinking on and off. It was some sort of a orb of some kind, or some other type of UFO. Yeah, that is right here. 2 tomato plants. Let's see if we find bubbles. Yeah, there is something out there besides us. Okay, there he is, right there. Wow, wow, very fascinating. 50,000 plants. I saw a jellyfish UFO over my house about 2 weeks ago. I had to get my family to show them, ensure I wasn't hallucinating. Yeah, like a lot of people that see them think that they don't want to have like hallucinations, but it's real what they're seeing. Right. Lord Bubbles is taking a nap. Yeah. The jellyfish UFO is something very crazy. I've seen videos of it before. Yeah, that one is a plasmoid type thing. That's really cool that you saw that, but it's also terrifying too. Also quite scary. Because a lot of people are just looking down. No one's looking up. That's the thing. You only see UFOs and you see Northern Lights. Gotcha. Yeah, wasn't sure what to do at first. I just stared at it and then realized I needed to show someone so people could believe me. Facts. Facts. That's good you did that. Just like with people, there's some good and some are bad. Right. Scared. Well, thank you. Yes, exactly. You hit the like button. Oh, Tony, that is very cool. And they saw one on the Gulf. I've heard other people tell me that they saw some on the Gulf Coast before coming from the water. And I think, I never really thought about them coming from the water. I mean, from the Gulf, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. They're coming from there too. So, thanks for your encounter for your brother. So, yes, this guy, overcast. That's where the sun usually is, but it's overcast now. No sun. Although I love overcast weather, still, yeah, there's no sun. No, can say either way. They could be all good or all bad, somewhere in between. That is true life. We wouldn't really know for certain, I guess. I'm not in Texas, no. Uh, Gajin says my Russian grandpa in the 30s got chased by a flying orb one night. He hid in the barn and crashed into the heavy duty oak door. It got vaporized. You see, those things are real. They are out. Whatever they are out there. Tinfoil Hatter, there are spaceships. Yeah. I live in Florida, and Tony says, and we have lots of sightings in South over the past years. I was about to say, other people in Florida tell me they see them coming from the water. So it must be around there. Okay. Thanks. Hello, Phil. Good to see you. Scared. The mind create anything. Let's see. Odin says, I have seen some crazy. Right. Let's see. I have seen some crazy lights in the water while commercial fishing here in Alaska. Oh, I'm sure you have seen some crazy lights. You know, and that's where a lot of the UFOs can appear at. Over in the northern uh, USA, in the North Pacific. Yeah, I'm very certain they probably there. It's great to see you, Phil. Welcome to the stream. Ball lightning, I think, is still a UFO phenomenon, though. Exactly. Why? What's with the tinfoil hat if people don't have a tinfoil hat on? That's something I'd like to know too. Okay, fun fact: there was a guy in the same Russian village as my grandpa was from, and vanished 30 years and returned one night with the same clothing and the same age. He vanished, no memories. You see, there's a UFO theory that the UFO that they will zap somebody away from their time period and bring them right back to where they were originally in the same clothes and everything without aging. That's very fascinating. Jimmy Cricket is still there with his cane and his top hat. All right, and up here we just don't talk much about the sightings because we are a small community that don't want to be marked as crazy. Right, right. And if there's people that are coming through, like tourists and stuff, they might think that they might get scared. Oh, okay. And let's see. We got chat saying there are interdimensional beings. That's why these 411 stories about these kids that go missing wake up and safely 20 miles away make believe Bigfoot alien. Okay. Yeah. And he had no memories of the time, but why didn't the aliens drop him off the same night, vanish, would be less suspicious? Oh, rest in peace. Condolences for your loss, Gaijin. Uh, it sounds like I'm glad he shared his stories with you about what happened. And I'm sure it's crazy to go through something like that because I've seen UFOs myself. Well, many people here have seen them. That was a little. I like dark stuff, but we're not doing that racing. You know, nope. Scared. All right. Oh, okay. Entertainment. Take care, buddy. Thank you for a safe story. But we need to have an open dialogue about this stuff. How we will learn and grow. Yeah, that's why we have it here. And people can disagree or they can agree, whatever people think. Right. Closest you've been to touching grass today. Yeah. This is some spiky grass right here. Okay. See, and some right there. Okay, and this is kind of like through the woods. These are some vegetables right here and right here too. That's some tomatoes, some broccoli right here, and we have this is a plant with a root. Double tap screen, subscribe, and see a channel again. Let's Broski to 45 likes. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Oh, glad you like the white flowers. Yeah. Oh, this is a daikon right here, and it could be eaten, but I'm just gonna let it flower. It's a Japanese root. Let's see what the root looks like after all this time. Yeah, see, it's a small little root, but yeah, this whole thing's edible. It's from Japan. This one didn't. This one was like a wild one from a year ago that it dropped its seeds, but for some reason it did not seed. For some reason. Right now, it is overcast and cool. Right, and also we have this. $43. Okay. Okay, this is actually primrose. Right, you got these. Let's see. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome to the stream. Right here, we have this forest, and it's quite, it's overcast right now, so there's not going to be anything else but some clouds. We have this. Right, got the. We are talking about aliens, different conspiracy theories, and having an open discussion. And yeah, although it's overcast, we have this during the day right here. Different plants coming up on this nice morning. Yeah, and this is Jimmy Cricket right here. Scared. Yeah, it is a cricket, something like that. Oh yeah, cheers, Rose. Shout out to you. Yeah, that is chilling right there. Hello, Odin3. And David said, shout out to Stewie the cricket. His name is Jimmy Stewie. All right. Hilarious. Yeah. So, oh yeah, there are snakes. So, right, usually in here there's some snakes, and they may be like under the house, and I've seen them like a slither by here before. They just kind of slither off when they see me, and I've seen them before. They were, they've been right here. So yeah, there are snakes that are kind of big that are here. Odin 3 says bird watchers are unique, eccentric people. Your brain measures the frequencies and distances. It is healing like hearing nature sounds in a spa. Right. Okay, snake watchers have tattoos and nose rings. Interesting. Okay. Now, yeah, that's a spider right there. I know people might hate spiders, but there you go. You have a spider right there. So that is something that over here I've not really seen them in this region, but I'm not, gonna go and I know Odin 3. You should be a comedian, Odin 3. So, and this is the tree. That's the tree. Lots of birds. Lots of birds. Yeah. So, as I said, there are snakes around. Yes. I don't. I think they may come out in certain seasons. Okay. And we have quite a bit of many different things that we'll see. We'll see various types of bugs, and we hear a lot of birds. Now, the hopefully the snakes don't go and bite me or something like that, but it'll be interesting to see all the different wildlife that we have here in a safe way. See anything coming up here? Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I always like this weather because I always assume this is kind of like northern sea type weather when it's overcast and rainy like this. And so like in Scotland it's like this all the time from what I know about. Yeah. And I like the different theories that we talk about. Quite intriguing indeed. Scared. Okay, we got these right here. So like that. And we'll see these get bigger over time, which are very cool. And it is definitely very calming, this type of weather, indeed. So this is another plant right here. This is a purple one. It's very cool. We've not seen this one yet, but it's usually in other areas, but not quite over here. Okay. Let's see if Bowles is around. There's Bubbles. He's glad to be here. Scared. Yeah, the Kitay. Yeah, he knows his name. Odin 3 thinks that paper bags at the store prove people used to be more delicate with life. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, that's a very interesting metaphor right there. There's actually a mint garden over there. I've not shown you like that, but Bowles is blocking the way, and because he wants the mint for himself. You know, they used to have paper bags, and now everything's all plastic. Paper bags do tear very easily and instantly. It's like they made them weak on purpose. It's so cringe. Scared. Yeah, people might be more desensitized, and they might want to try to make something easier, right? And they may think like plastic was so like easy to do. They're not as delicate and gentle with their groceries as they used to be. That's another possibility right there. Yeah, absolutely. See how the cat's so calm and he's like in Zen mode. He's in monk mode all the time. Very noble cat. Okay. Yes, I agree with that. Desensitized people and weaker bags. Yeah, because back in the past, people were much more easy and delicate with things. If you wear out something, you might break the whole instrument. That's these people will do. They break the whole instrument. That is also a good observation, Rebecca, that they might be being too cheap with the creation of them. Because a lot of things, for instance, are like I say Timu things. Things are made in China. They probably are making them very cheaply and not the way they're supposed to make them. Yeah, I do agree with that. We're being desensitized daily by the messed up things of the world. Indeed. Going to do some planting of more tomatoes in this region. And the way these worked, not burying the seeds as deep, that worked interestingly. Odin says we will make drugs prostitute legal and see plastic bags, straws illegal, so we can throw plastic printers away instead of buying new ink cartridges because it's cheaper. Yeah, exactly. They're all about it's all about money and saving money and not really making a good product. I think when you have a bad product, that's when you really just not think about the people in it. Right. We banned cigarettes to protect children from chemicals, yet illegal to grow tobacco plant in your garden as a natural pest repellent. I didn't know it was illegal. I don't know. It just depends in the state or something. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's basically the pest repellents and stuff. They don't want people to be self reliant, and they want people to be reliant on their type of chemicals. Definitely. All right, and we will ban. Okay, so I think depends on the state. Actually, I'm just talking. Yeah, Odin 3. You say whatever you need to say. I love your rants, and it's a place for you to do that. But I'm just saying it may depend on the states. I think tobacco can be grown. There's some cash crops that people may need a license for. Some plants that may not be able to be grown, but it depends in the state. I think that is one good thing. Odin 3 is that the state has the power to make laws and rules because if you have a state power, you know, your state can like one state can have something illegal, another state can have something legal. So that's a good thing about the states' rights to be able to shield themselves from a corrupted government. Now, I believe things like slavery were wrong that need to be abolished, at some point, and it was. But overall, the people shouldn't be. The states need to have a right to do what they have to do. That would help with the mass censorship and the poisoning of our minds and bodies that they're doing. Right. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. Look who just came out of nowhere. It's Claude. This cat just like this cat must be interdimensional chat. This cat came out of nowhere. Came out of absolutely just out of thin air. Now, hey, 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 you're not gonna go attack that cat. That is true, Odin 3. That is true. Definitely slaves to desire. In consumer goods, and I mean, people would argue that jobs and things of that nature can be seen as a form of yes. Don't stress me out. Yeah, there's people that could be like a job. People could be a slave to a job. People could be a slave to a desire. People could be a slave to anything. Like it could be a drink. It could be even anything. I mean, people could be a slave to. So I do agree that it took a different form than it did back in the past. All right, and you see the cat just slithered off somewhere, and you got Bubbles right here, who is just being a good cat, enjoying his morning. Right, And his other cat, this interdimensional cat, just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah. So there he is. There he is. He's, hey, Bubbles. Your fans are telling you hello. Lights, Rebecca, care about what others think and you always be their prisoner. I agree. That's why it's important to not care what anybody thinks, is do what you think is best. Yeah. Odin 3, understood. And you see, over time, the Industrial Revolution happened and society evolved away from it. But at one time, it was there, and then things changed over time. Like they have said that it's probably at some point it would have been abolished even in the South at some point. It wouldn't have been needed anymore. So yeah, it was a system that existed for a very long time. People could argue the 9 to 5 job is a form of slavery. So I mean, some people argue it exists now in a different form than it did before. But yeah, it built a civilization, then society evolved away into other things. But yeah, at one time it was used. The Romans had it, Egyptians had it. It was go all the way back in time. Yeah. Because there's lots of labor shortages that were occurring and over various periods of time, and eventually there's suburbs and stuff of that nature that happened. Then eventually it became what it is today. Because a lot of people in the suburbs and stuff, that was a big factor in changing how the workforce is. And there used to be a time, there was a Chicago riot one time where people worked like longer than 9 to 5. And then they demanded the 9 to 5 workday. When people work so long, it was like say like they get up around this time and go to home at like midnight, right? Or so it can be extremely messed up. Like people thought, and they had riots and things, and they eventually came to the 9 to 5 system. And I guess as we get more into the digital age of technology, with AI and stuff and robots, they're gonna have robots doing jobs and things, and it'll be people doing less things and technology doing more things. So I think it's going to evolve more into technology doing stuff. But the problem with that is if technology comes with its own consciousness, like the Terminator, then there could be issues. All he's going to do is stretch. That's his signature stretch. All they Bowles and his brother both do that. Always likes attention for the camera. Remember when it snowed here? It was overcast like this, and yeah, everything was just buried in snow. The level of service is pretty bad today. Okay, I see. Yeah, and exactly. Back when my people, my grandparents and parents, back in their time, things were more. People work with a smile, or they did everything they did with all they had, and people were comfortable with whatever work that they were doing. People now, I think, are very rude and they lack hospitality, and it is extremely, entitlement, and people are going with their emotions instead of acting with proper conviction. Ending the duel to destroy humanity. Yes. Ending the duel. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe so. It's just like my grandpa worked at an ice cream place. He worked at a grocery store, and everybody was just, very good hospitality. I mean, there's different ways people back in the day used to conduct themselves, and now it's all rude and it's all stupid now. So yeah, right. I got a thought. You guys, all the Hollywood people have clones, just like Jim Carrey. Don't look or act the same. Exactly, Hollywood doesn't care much it did before because to them, all the elites are underground, and now the clones are up here, and they underground because they're scared of the world and Jesus returned in World War III. Oh, I definitely agree, Brandon. Is speaking truth. And I believe that with Jim Carrey, he is not that was not really Jim Carrey that we saw. That was somebody else. A clone or something. They either took him out, they censored him, whatever they did, it was something extremely nuts. And I do definitely agree with you. It's really decaying a civilization. Humans are a myth, considering only wild animals have the largest in charge and have feelings with a failure to communicate. I know, Odin. The human race is truly an enigma. It's really bizarre. Brandon said they already had Joe Brandon as a robot wearing a suit, and he called to tell the way he walked and everything and talked that Joe Brandon did September before end of his term. Oh yeah, exactly. Joe Brandon had a clone. He definitely had one, and that was I saw videos of it, and I remember from the presidency, it definitely was not him. Yeah, I agree. It was so completely just like everyone can notice, but they think that we're stupid. Owen said the Black Rock took over Serico in 2019, where a father was tortured to deletion, and identity was stolen. The biggest companies you never heard of. Condolences for your loss, Odin 3. I do believe those big companies like BlackRock do stuff like that. Yeah. And if voting makes any difference, would be illegal. Hasn't changed. Owners have. Ah, exactly. That's a good thing to point out is that sometimes people vote. It's like you get two sides of the same coin. I do encourage people to be optimistic that there are good politicians out there. That does what I just said doesn't make any sense technically, but I believe there are some people out there that have our best interest. But probably I'm being maybe too wishful on my thinking about that. But to not vote at all would not be taking any action. But then again, we have to understand at the same time what Odin 3 is saying is that there are people that you vote for one side and the other side, but it's really pretty much the same thing. You get both same thing at the same time because they're funded by higher ups and by different countries, and they're not really having our best interest. So I wouldn't completely give up on society, but still, I do agree with you that the both sides of the same coin. Yeah, no, I do not. I think the J6 thing was completely not something people should do. Yeah, definitely. Or doing the rioting that they did with in 2020 or the other one either. Yeah, I just think that like what we're doing right here with our peaceful conversations about these things is the way to go. Yeah, because they'll use that as a tactic to try to make us look bad. And same thing. Yeah, both sides are playable characters. I mean, just like in 2020, they burned down most of the country and did all kinds of things. Like any kind of violence is, the founding fathers did what they had to do to preserve our country, but we have other ways. At the moment, I don't think violence is not the way to go. They're just going to use it as a tactic. To go, oh, look what these people do. Blah blah blah. Yeah, definitely. Right, and that's a dragonfly chat that is chilling right there. And it's like a chess game. Like say like in England, right? There's a bank in England and a bank in France, and they both are related to each other, and they both cause a war called War 1, and they both win at the end of the day. It's kind of like that. Yeah, dragonflies are very cool. I don't see them every day myself, but they do come around the spring and summer. When I was a kid, I thought they were so fascinating, so there it is. Yeah, I think all the pesticides and things that are dumping around hurts the. Oh, you have lots of dragonflies, Grace? Oh, cool. Yeah, some places with the pesticides they spray would harm the insects and things like that. Oh, when I was in Kentucky, I had fireflies, and they catch and eat mosquitoes. Tons of mosquitoes here. Yeah, it's good they're catching the mosquitoes also. Oh, I've seen fireflies. Not okay. When the power is completely out, I see fireflies here, but I usually see them in Kentucky more often. Dude, voting isn't even real. Every president of the United States, Freemason, every president of the United States is related. Brandon, I do agree with that too. I just don't give up, and I believe there's a probably a lesser of the two evils. But I definitely agree with you about that, though. That they're basically both sides of the same coin. You're not wrong. I just think that I don't want to completely give up on hope of a future that is more positive. But yeah, I do agree with you that they're all pretty much related and connected and all like control opposition. That makes sense. Yes, there's walking stick bugs and praying mantises. That's true. Yeah, Black Rock. Yeah, fireflies as well where you are. That's awesome. Odin. Yeah, I definitely understand why you feel that way, Odin 3, about humanity, especially what we've been seeing. Oh yeah, Grace, I was recently called for jury duty and I was in a trial. It was very interesting, by the way. But I like trials and true crime, so I'm a little bit different. But yeah, yeah, Odin 3. Yeah, I definitely don't blame you the way you think. It's pretty much a disgraceful society that we live in. They still watching and listening to us and people like us that know too much. They will eventually come after. Like, how did I say this? I was going to say it. Yeah. I mean, Charlie Kirk was assassinated in broad daylight. And, and he was very vocal about his opinions about things. So, death smiles at us all at some point. But there are people that try to speed up the process, unfortunately. My point is to not be afraid of anything, in that we have to do we have to do what is right. Right. My grandpa was 33rd and was even Easter Star. Father didn't want anything to do with those things yet. He worked with the FB and know the whole stuff a lot. Brandon, that is very must have been very shocking to know about that when you realize that information. And I'm sure it was a culture shock. But then again, I am glad that you're telling us about your experience because they're all over the place. These people that do these types of jobs and things like that, they're definitely everywhere. All of it, they're like right amongst us. Okay, and home greatest story told will never see the truth. Stolen intelligence has no consciousness. Therefore, furthest from God, humanity possible. Unfortunately, describes Elon America's most accurately. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely think that liars are they're like magicians. They can make smoke and mirrors, and a lot of people buy it. Right, and I agree with Odin. If there could be, oh, thank you. Yeah, this was a gift from one of the friends, family friends that gifted this to us after he was no longer around. It was very nice, and the cats like it. Yeah, I appreciate it. We all have this. We have this type of architecture all over the place. LOL, David. No, the presidents are all literally related biologically. Brandon, I know. Like their bloodlines are all connected, like with the royalty and the different stuff like that. I know what you mean. Epstein and Andrew Jackson look very similar. Yeah, they all are related in my opinion. They're all distant cousins. It's kind of like it's choosing like the Hunger Games. Choosing you know, like a puppet show. Phew. Oh God. Right. So it's my team with allergies, but I still have nature anyway. Yeah. Right. And I remember when I figured that out. I thought that was kind of wild. Like they're related to different kings and stuff that existed, and like all their bloodlines are similar. And also, the Skull and Bones is another one, and a couple other secret societies that I think are not good. JFK was talking about secret societies, and he got himself a week later not alive anymore. Yes, correct, absolutely. About the very well said, Grace. Definitely. And over with the owl thing, they're burning this thing for the owl entity and doing kinds of rituals, and they're able to Alex was able to film that event and document it for everybody to see. It's quite crazy, dude. Oh, what did you hear? Thank you, Cost. I appreciate it for your feedback. You know, you can disagree with me, see me as a villain, or see me as a hero. But one thing you can't do is ignore me, though. We could both agree you couldn't ignore me, Coast. Because the people that are crazy enough to think they could change the world are the ones that do. A very big culture shock. That's why my mom took me and raised me a Christian home far away from these things. And dad was allowed that happen so I could see the truth and the light. Oh, amen. I'm glad that your mother raised you with the truth of Christ. That because, in his light may fill you up because all the darkness in the world is really cringe. I agree. I mean, that's good. I mean, I'm related to them too. One of my relatives was in that organization, a distant relative. Yeah, and my relatives didn't want anything to do with it. Oh, Roman. Maybe you heard some paranormal thing because in this region specifically, there's paranormal activity sometimes. Right here, this region has paranormal activity sometimes. Okay, I don't know why, but it does. This region, this area. Right, Jesus Christ, Nikola Tesla, Rudolf Diesel, and inventor carried. So I wouldn't recommend it. Einstein never approved. Ended up mason jar. Yeah, exactly. And humanity and the planet have no respect because the American people have such destroyed every real creator ever lived. Yeah, and because he knew the truth, so did my mom. I won't even go down, but okay, and very interesting. And I put that way. Don't know. I just things that done. Okay, and a lot of research and wisdom naturally from God, and just known where to look and wide and look. Well, thank you for your wisdom that you're sharing with us. Appreciate it. Okay, Roman. Yeah, I like to know. Because I've heard when I've walked through these woods sometimes, I heard one time I took a video of just a tree and I played it back and I heard some in gibberish talking like right here and I didn't even know what it was exactly. So I've heard gibberish before, at times. Right. You live in voodoo big there and religion or black magic. Okay, so Sawgirl, the voodoo that you're hearing about is basically the yes, voodoo is a thing, and there are people that practice it, but a lot of people don't practice that. But at one time, like the slaves and stuff did, and people did. I don't know. I've never met anyone in my life that does it, but yeah, they are out there. Yeah, but yeah, saw it's a very like haunted type region because of that, and there could be things lurking around from those entities that you speak of, the voodoo entities. Right. It's black. It's a religion of black magic, but there have been times where people combined the ancient religion and with the Catholic. So sometimes they combine it with the Catholic religion because some of them were Catholic and voodoo at the same time. Although it's a corruption, they still did it like that. Yeah. So sometimes they had a hybrid religion of both. But yes, there were people that were into that stuff. And it's known to be haunted with ghosts and things like that. Bed. Okay. So, and yeah, so girl, I've had different paranormal encounters, and there have been people that have been living here for hundreds of years. For this location, like there are people that were here for hundreds of years. Oh, thank you, uh, life. I appreciate the gifted memberships. All right, and Brandon said some of the assassinations, fate JFK, unfortunately was really assassinated, but I think was of okay. Thank you, Brandon, for your take on that. All right, and Solid said I almost fell off the balcony in the French Quarter, not drunk. It was a chair moved. Was I sitting down literally? It was creepy. My family witnessed it. Yes. There's tons of ghosts over there. Okay, in that area, definitely. And there are, yes, they are active members. Yes, Roman's active. David, Sandra. I've known Sandra for years. Eris and Jane. Yeah, all those two are active. Yeah, so the French Quarter definitely has lots of spirits and ghosts there and haunted hotels all over the place. And for instance, like this is a needle flower that was used by settlers and natives and stuff like that. Yes, life. Yes, life. The YouTube algorithm got it right. So, and they used it for they also use it for smoking too. By the way. Oh, Sawgirl. It's very big in Louisiana. Yes, my family is Catholic. Although as you know, I'm more of an eclectic Christian now, and more of a Protestant, and although I have Protestant and Catholic ancestors, but I have more of a Protestant or eclectic type view of Christianity now, where I'm not in like any specific denomination. And the thing is, Saw Girl, this used to be part of Spain. Like this used to be part of Mexico at one time, and it was also part of France too. Two Catholic countries. All the holidays and everything you see is very influenced by them. Yeah, the French settlers. Yeah, the French and Spanish were here. Regulates what you can say and cannot say, and they will come and shut them down. They speak them out. Outline. Yeah, I do agree with you, Brandon. Definitely, absolutely. And also, people don't believe me, but I have the true receipts back up. Yeah. Oh, really, Rebecca? You understand? Okay, yeah. And I think that the people, and this is my thing with the Catholics. So the they could be the organizations can be. Yes, girl. It's Fat Tuesday. It's a place where people can have. It's like a party they do before Lent. It has to do with the Lent thing. The Mardi Gras colors are actually Russian, by the way. The colors of Russia are the colors are of the czar's coat of arms, the yellow, green, and purple. Oh, okay, Roman. Wow. In that area, though, in general, this area in general has paranormal things happen in this region right here because the czar came to Mardi Gras one time. Oh, thank you, Roman. There's no. I don't think there's anything called Orthodox Catholicism, but it's basically it is like Orthodoxy because they were very strict with it. Yeah. Okay, so Sawgirl, they it's basically like my thing is about the church is that all these people are the church organization of people could be corrupted. And I do think that one thing I liked about the Protestantism was that they were very focused on the Bible and Bible stories never even heard of. So that's what I liked about it. And now I'm just like an eclectic, where I take things from all kinds of different versions of Christianity and different beliefs and mix them together. So I don't really fit in a box, but yeah, that is how I think of it. Like the confirmation, I don't think it's really that important. It's about people just coming to God themselves. Although I don't completely deny the traditions and stuff, but it's not necessarily necessary. They are very interesting. Okay, Rand said many churches are full of lies and money-making organizations for government. And true word of God is the Ethiopian Bible with 88 books. Amen. I agree with you. I agree with you about the Book of Enoch. Yeah. Oh yeah, life exactly. And I believe in God very strongly, but I believe humans have corrupted things. All right, was interdocted to be Catholic too. Went to Cath school. Christian now, no longer Cath. Creepy. Think too much about it. Yeah, definitely. I was in a Catholic school and then I went to a private school and met my alien friends. Yeah, exactly. Life. I agree. All systems of people become corrupted. The message works. Charities of the Catholic Church remain uncorrupted. Okay, Roman, thank you for your take on that. All opinions are welcome. There's a reason almost all my religion stems from Sanskrit. Yeah. And I believe that, you know, people have to be confirmed to be a Christian, but you're just a Christian already. But as I said, the Catholic practices are not necessarily bad. Like, say, like, I thought the saints and Mary were idolatry, but at one point, but then I realized, like, people, the saints and Mary, it's like asking a friend to pray for you. That's what it's like. Not like asking a deity, like not worshiping a deity, but asking a friend to pray for you. So people want to practice that they can. And I like the crosses and the different, rosaries and stuff are interesting. But and the artwork's very good. But yeah, I think the I'm more freestyling Christianity the way I do it now. Yeah, and but as I said, the Bible based is good, but it doesn't mean all the traditions were not necessarily not true, like what they think. But it definitely Bible based is good to go, but also to be more to not be dogmatic about it either way. I preach a gospel. The true word of God is not Christmas, Easter, pagan stuff, but Passover and true traditions of God. Oh, amen, Brandon. Thank you for explaining that to us. Definitely very good that you're preaching the gospel. And as a common Protestant critique, right? And Sargel says exactly the Catholic Church is at the top of the money making line. Poor churches, rich churches never made sense to me. Question why it is as a child. Very good. Thank you for your take on that. And yeah, I have relatives that are Protestant too, that were from United Kingdom and Germanic countries, and also have Catholic people from the various Mediterranean and Irish places I'm related to. So I'm related to all kinds of different parts of Europe that had different, and also Germany was also Catholic. I'm related to Catholic Germans too. So I'm like related to people all over the place. But remember now, I still have. Oh, look at that chat, a red bird. Right when we're talking about this stuff, a cardinal, synchronicity. Okay, Orthodox Catholicism is Byzantine Greek. Oh, okay, Grace. Yeah, the Byzantines and Greek Orthodox. Yes, I know about the Orthodox Church. I like the Orthodox Church very much. A very good point. I know the Catholics and the Orthodox had a schism. Remember, I don't deny the Catholic things in the Catholic Church or the people in it. I don't think are bad. I just don't agree with all the way they do things. Right. Yeah, that was a cardinal bird. Yeah. Brandon said, "Science is corrupt. NASA lies. Religion fly into the buildings and inside job. Yeah, government took the Illuminati card game everywhere. Everything is scripted. They just are. Yeah, And I do think Jesus existed and he was able to do those things, but I think it's because he found a glitch in the simulations that we are in. Life from a point of view that's a good way to that's a good way to look at it in a way. Very interesting perspective. Thank you. Oh, amen, Captain. I agree. And right, and I still he takes uh, look at all the Lutheran church that have 5 private jets, mega churches, mansions. Spare me the money and corruption. Now, Roman, I do agree with you about that, and I think that the things is a very good points to make out. And I personally have no problem with people making money that are in religion. I personally have no problem with it, but I do think that a lot of times you could have a person like the Pope that can do things in Christianity and say things that may not always coincide with what the religion might teach in general. But I do think is that people can be corrupted at the same time, and that's why I think that I don't think it's illegitimate the Catholic Church, but I think that people have become corrupted and mislead people, and that both I agree with you actually that both Protestants and Catholics are using money unjustly and profiting off the religion. Both of them are, and the Catholic Church taught them how to do it in the beginning. To begin with, and so that is what they do. So both of them do it. You're just showing that the organized religion, and I don't even believe in organized religion technically, is both of them have their corruptions in it. Absolutely. And I agree, I'm against the Masons also. But as I said, the Spanish Inquisition wasn't really too nice. As I said, the I think both churches and both organized religions have caused problems. Yeah, and you could levy that critique. I agree with you, Roman. It's not just the Catholic Church, but all over the place. But my problem with the church was the theology of it. That they do a lot of ritualistic things, which I think is good and important, but they don't always have enough of Bible based conversations, though, and Bible based teachings at the same time. I think the Catholic Church just needs to be edited a little bit to have both. Because I do think that a balance between both is good. And I'm not against the church, but there's just some questions about it that it seems like, and why wouldn't the Catholic Church be like the rest? Why would it be like the world? Why would it be like the public schools and the Protestant churches? Why is it doing the same thing the other ones do? So I just think that all human institutions could have corruption. That's why I think Jesus just directly is the best way. But the Catholic Church is not illegitimate though. I think it's still a legitimate thing, but just it's being corrupted by humans. All right. And Catherine says Jesus wants to build a relationship with you, man. Yeah, definitely. And I think that the priest doing things to children is not really nice either. It has nothing to do with the Catholic faith, though. But I do think it's, you know, something that needs to be, worked on. With the corruption, with bad people infiltrating it, though. And Rebecca says the religious school went to the priest and embezzled all the money, and that was donated during the masses. And there was so much SC assault. Don't get me started. Right. I know. And as I said, this is the thing. A lot of Catholics get upset, and they have all these. They get all like triggered over it when there's some criticism about their beliefs. It just shows how they can be. All right. So just by their way they act, it's just how they are. Sometimes when they're challenged. Exactly. So you don't even need to prove someone wrong. They just need to show their colors when they're challenged. And said, all constructive criticism is welcomed here. And people can have their opinions about whatever they like. And that's why they are all the same with slightly different rules and such. The Book of Enoch is what seems like reality. Oh, I agree. And that was one of the books that was taken away from the Bible, which I think was wrong, both Protestants and Catholics did. I believe it's the truth, definitely. Absolutely. My pleasure, Chat and Rebecca. And I don't think all humans are perfect. We all can get it wrong. And Roman, we're not talking about them. That is true. I agree that is a problem. But we're talking about the perfect church that is uncorrupted, that can't do anything wrong. Well, that's good, Roman. I mean, it's everywhere. But why is it at the perfect church it does nothing wrong? I just think I think that no institution is perfect. It just the the Bible. You're welcome. The Bible is something that's very important that I don't think they're as Bible based as they can be. And I think the Catholic Church and their practices are very good practices in there, the theology in there. But I just think it's been corrupted by people that infiltrated it, and that the Bible based, church at the same time with Catholic traditions would be a good balance. So I'm not even denying it. It's just so many people have had issues with it, and it can't be completely denied. No religion is perfect, and I still have crucifixes and all kinds of Catholic things, but I'm more Bible based or personal relationship with Jesus instead of a priest. People could do that if they want to, and that's a legitimate practice. But any religion has its problems. No religion's perfect, you know. And so, as I said, people can be Catholic if they want to, but I have my personal opinion about it. But if people can't have an opinion about the Catholic Church, it's taking away free will. You know, it's as I said, people can disagree about it, but people have a right to disagree with it if they want to. And I do agree that so many Protestant churches split up in different factions everywhere. Definitely, it did. And I do believe the Catholic Church, in at one time, united Europe very well, but people corrupted it. You know, the Vikings said that power attracts the worst and corrupts the best. The perfect church is a straw man dogma that things that preached in the magnetism are absolutely uncomfortable, but anything said outside the can be. Okay. And I wouldn't say that humans did it. I would say that Satan did it through humans, and fallen angels deceived us from the truth. Jesus really, like I said, Easter and Christmas, right? Oh, okay. Okay, life. Understood. Okay. Yeah. And so, as I said, I think that the Bible based, because there's so many Bible stories they don't teach in the Catholic Church in their sermons. And I think that, teaching people how to live their life is a good thing. But the Catholic, or some of the rituals and traditions they have are good too. I think there's not bad things in the Catholic Church. They have good practices, but there's just other things about it that it may need to be balanced out with other things too. So I like the different things in the church, but there's lots of things in it that are not, I don't think, 100% accurate with the corruption, and some things in the theology that could be tweaked a little bit. Yes. Yeah, I understand broken sentences. I understand broken mirrors. Okay, and let's go through here. And we could always agree to disagree. You know, it's always good to agree to disagree at times. And people could be completely Catholic, but go to God themselves and not go by the church or people, and just do it personally. God's all you need, in my opinion. Okay. Now we're going to be going in. I'm not going to ending the stream. Where we're going doing the inside part. Okay. All right. Here I am. Yeah. Here's the hat. My captain's hat. Okay. And thank you, Roman, for your opinions about this. Okay, well, let's see how modern preachers claim you need to go to church, but the Bible, Jesus said the church is in the heart. Yeah, the kingdom of God's within man. Right. Oh, oh. Your cat stepped upon by a bee. Okay, Amber Heard. Spaceship Hook. Yeah. And also, let's go. All right, and Space Hooks. Okay, let's. Oh, where I get the hat? I got it from online. Okay, or subscriber count went up quite a bit. Interesting. All right, so let's see. For sure. Okay, good sport. Okay, and shout out to everybody else. Hits here. All right, let's see. Yes, it is Roman. I'm glad that you're studying about it. It's good to have debates and see other different people's opinions about things. It's we look into it. Let's see cryptids. Okay. Oh yeah, the alien merch store. Yeah. Let's see. What is this right here? Let's go this way. I do have an alien merch store for which is very interesting for people to see. It's very nice. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Anyway, products here. So um, now going this way so people can see this probably better. Okay. Here we go. And then do this. Link shoulder. Yeah, I do. I'm bringing it up right now. Let's see. Okay, and let's go this way. Any objects from other worlds to show you? Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, paste. Okay. All right, this is the merch store right here. Okay, dude, it would be cool if you could replay the noise you currently heard in the live stream. We could all hear it. Okay, it was creepy. Okay, okay, yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, and Brandon said, I think that there is a demon spirit entity inside the Catholic Church itself, which has attached it to the church, creating these easy child events. Okay, thank you, Brandon, for your take on that. Yes, she bought the alien leggings. There's also Alien Lives Matter shirts and stuff. So yeah, there's quite a few things in there. Yeah, Rebecca really likes them. Jeggings. Yeah. Okay, and let's go this way. Something from another world. Let's see. Okay, it was right when you mentioned the JFK cults and filmed it white chair reference. Okay. Okay. This is the flying saucer from another world that was taken from a very long time ago. There you go. And let's go here. Yeah, scared. And there's another one. Let's see. Yes, I have seen things myself. That's true. I've seen orbs in the sky. Yeah, the Momo asteroid, right. The interstellar objects and okay, there's something called the IM-1 Spherius. It is an expedition off the coast of Papua. The Avalo recovered metallic spheres from the ocean floor. Initially, analysts found an abundance of beryllium and anthium and uranium, a composition unlike natural materials found in our solar system, leading to speculation they might be fragments of alien technology. Scared. Yeah. The Baltic Sea anomaly and circular stone like structure discovered by divers on the floor of the Gulf of Bothnia when some enthusiasts claimed it resembled a crashed spaceship. Many geologists believed it is a natural glacial deposit. The Antikythera mechanism, often mistakenly cited as alien, this 2,000-year-old Greek device is actually a highly sophisticated ancient mechanical computer used to track astronomical positions. The Betz Mystery Sphere. The 1974, a small metallic ball found in Florida that allegedly exhibited strange behaviors like vibrating and moving on its own. It was later identified as ball valve from nearby industrial company. Oh, that's cute, Rebecca. So those are some objects from alien objects that are out in space. There is a sea monster in Cyprus known by locals as the Tokafikio, a friendly monster. This creature is said to inhabit the waters off the Cape Greco, unlike terrifying sea serpents, is often described as harmless and has even been compared to crocodile type creature. The Greek dolphin, Gerald has relatives, it seems. Okay. Reported by cetologist WFJ, is a cryptid resembles the striped dolphin, but notably a plumper and lacks the characteristic of black stripes. It was seen in pods of up to 50 individuals in the Mediterranean. Rebecca, there's actually on planet Serpo, there's aliens that the aliens on planet Serpo, the Ebians, prayed one time a day. So yes, aliens can have religion. I seen one of the night fishing sat above us, and 10 minutes they took off and out of sight. In a second, nothing I've seen before. That is very cool. It's also very scary too, Ash. And thanks for documenting your encounter for us. And there is the Corfu Island creature. More recent sighting occurred in 2015 when tourists photographed the strange gray manatee headed entity in the waters of the Corfu. Its identity remains a mystery among the cryptozoologists. Ancient mythological roots. Many modern cryptids and religions are often blurred with ancient folklore. For example, the Scolopedra was described as a classic Greco Roman text, and many find sea serpents or a giant centipede, similar to legend of the Greek vampires, or the headless men with faces in their chests. Also, Oh, that is great, Lori. Glad you're watching both. Brandon says, "What you call aliens are actually demons and fallen angels and Nephilim. Yes, they have religion. They worship Satan, and their king is fight against heaven and Jesus." You see, Brandon, you are new here, but I have said that repeatedly over time that the aliens are often fallen angels or the watchers in the book of Enoch, right? And that they're demonic entities, especially the reptilian ones. And like Epstein and all those different types of elites are worshiping those entities that are the fallen angels, right? So, no, I agree with you about that. But I also have recently thought that with all the billions of stars out there has to be something out there besides us. So I do think there are aliens on other planets, but a lot of the aliens we see are fallen angels or demons. But they also could be time travelers too, and maybe I think all of the theories are true. I think there are demons from other dimensions. Those are the Watchers. I believe some of them are aliens from other planets. I believe some of them could be time travelers too. So I think all of them seem like they have truth to them. But yes, I do agree with you, Brandon, that, and I've been very zealous about this. I mean, a lot of videos about this, that they are demons from other dimensions disguised as aliens, and their religion would be satanic. Like the lizard aliens, for instance, definitely. Those are the fallen Serphium. And some people, I can't deny that because I don't want to be put in a be too dogmatic. Like I like put everything in a box, like be one extreme or another. I think it could be a variety of different factors are also true. So that is true what you're saying, and I think there are aliens on other planets as well. I think both are true. With all the billions of stars out there has to be something else besides us. And I do agree with you, Brandon, definitely. And Lori said, "When I was trying to wake up, I saw Claude." Oh yeah, Claude just appeared out of no. He just he's interdimensional. He appeared out of nowhere. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brandon. This is the living room. Yeah, no box for it's here. Grounds. Yeah. Thanks. So the birthday sign was from earlier this year, and the lights are on because the cats like the lights. That thing out there is something I made when I was from a long time ago, and that's a Christmas tree in the background with a mask on it because the cats like it. Right. That is true, Brandon. Right. Yeah. Scared. Yeah. And that is definitely the golden rule that we must follow with the box forts, that we cannot do that. And because there's grounds and subject matter jurisdiction, all that stuff. Yeah, we got to make sure that we have to keep the box intact. Definitely. Let's see. And yeah, because the thing about with the cats, they definitely like the garden and they walk around it. Yes, Brandon, I do agree with you. Hello, tribal. There's got to be another planet out there with humans on it. Yeah, yeah. See. Hello, Virginia. Welcome to the stream. All right. And Brand said it's not another planet, it's another dimension. And it's called heaven, and there's another one called hell, and there's multiple layers of heaven. There's 7 layers of heaven, and I believe in 11. Okay, very good. Yeah, I do believe there's other dimensions where aliens come from. Definitely. That's why they're called interdimensional beings. And even Aleister Crowley summoned a demon that looks like a gray alien. So, yeah, that makes sense. There is 5,500 exoplanets with 45 rocky worlds and candidates habitat of early 2026. Yeah, 11. Yeah, I believe the Book of Enoch is true, and the 11 layers of hell. Yeah, definitely. There's different parts of it. Recent studies, sometimes referred to as Project Hail Mary Search, have narrowed down thousands of discoveries to most promising targets of the upcoming telescope observations. Trappists, part of the 7 planet system, 40 light years away, an Earth size, likely rocky, sits squarely in the habitat zone. There is LHS, a super Earth light years away. Recent data suggests it could be the water world with massive liquid ocean, making it high priority target for the James Webb Telescope from space. The Proxima Centauri b, the closest known exoplanet, just 40.2 light years away, while the Earth-sized and habitat zone is hosts stars frequently. Solar flares could make sustaining an atmosphere difficult. The TOI, a recent highlighted super Earth that receives starlight similar to Earth, it orbits a small red star, which makes the atmosphere easier to study. The Kepler, the first Earth-sized planet found in the habitat zone. It is 580 light years away and likely much colder than Earth, potentially resembling the cold Earth or having permanent ice ages. Beyond the stars, scientists also are looking for moons within the solar system that might harbor life, sustain oceans. Because there's one of the scientists that was deleted. He was able to see the other things. He was able. One of them was able to see a water planet. Also, okay. So I think that's very cool. Right. I was not aware that I was out. Right. I was not aware that I was out. Was not aware that the thing was not working. So it is what it is, I guess. All right. So glad I went and checked and saw that something wasn't working right. Anyway, so now, does anyone know how long I was out for? Out of curiosity, anybody wants to say? Okay. So, well, it's okay, Lori. It's okay. I don't know how long I was out for. Anyway, so promising moons in our solar system. Beyond the stars, scientists are looking for moons with our own solar system that 30 seconds. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you, chat, for keeping me posted. I'm checking actively so it doesn't go out. Okay. Uh, promising moons are. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Right. Promising moons in our solar system. Beyond the stars, scientists are also looking for moons within our solar system might harbor life in a superface oceans. Europe, thought to have been. Yeah, oh, yeah, Brandon. I agree with you. Definitely. Yeah, that's what exactly what I was saying. Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm glad that you're admiring your pea plants. Um, I get mesmerized by my garden too. Yeah. There's the Europa, Jupiter, thought to have a saltwater ocean beneath its thick, icy crust. The Saturn, known for its massive plumes of water vapor and organic molecules erupting from the South Pole. Potential for superhabitat worlds. Some scientists argue that Earth might not be the best possible home for life. Superhabitable planets could be older, slightly larger, or warmer than Earth, potentially offering even more stable conditions for evolution to flourish over billions of years. All right, let's start with some fun facts about pea plants. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Tribal. I appreciate it. Okay. And all right, father genetics. So pea plants are a lot more interesting than their reputation as a side dish suggests. They actually have been the center of some of the biggest breakthroughs in scientific history. Father genetics. It wouldn't be we wouldn't understand the DNA nearly as well today without the pea of 1850s. The Gregor Mendel used over 28,000 pea plants and discovered that the laws of inheritance. He chose them because they grow fast and have clear, distinct traits like being tall versus short or having green versus yellow seeds. Peas are parts of the legume family, which are nature's ultimate team players. They have symbiotic relationship with bacteria and the roots that are allowed allows them to take nitrogen from the air and turn them into food. This process is called the nitrogen fixation, actively leaving soil healthier for the next plants to grow over there. Oh, that's good. He likes stuff like this. I appreciate you sharing it. Ancient fast food. Peas, one of the oldest cultivated crops in the world. Archaeologists have found peas in the caves dating back nearly 10,000 years. In the Middle Ages, dried peas were a staple fast food, because they could be stored for years and easily boiled into a thick porridge called peas and pudding. Oh, it sounded like a growl. Well, okay, glad your sister could see it too. Scared. Thanks, Roman, for looking up. Being lookout. All right. And Or he said, yeah, clover fixes nitrogen too. Hilarious, Brandon. I don't recall having a moment like that. I wasn't having a growl like that. I didn't hear anything or feel anything in my body. But that is hilarious, Brandon. You can always do that. Self-polluting wonders. Most pea plants are hemiphatic, meaning that the single flower has both male and female parts, usually as pollinate themselves before the flower even opens. Part of the made Meadle's experiment so successful it was easy to control exactly which part of the plants were breeding. They move by touch. Pea plants use the tendrils, curly stems to climb. These tendrils incredibly sensitive to touch. Once they brush against the fence, a pole, they can wrap around in just a few minutes, pulling plants upward to the sunlight. Yeah, I sneezed. Yeah. And the world record, the tallest pea plant ever recorded, reached a height of 19 feet, 1 inch. For a plant that usually stays under 6 feet, that's a massive vertical climb. Peas were the first vegetables to ever be commercially frozen because they have such a high sugar content. They hold their textures and flavor better than almost any other vegetable when subjected to sub zero temperatures. Let's see, different varieties. Pea varieties are primarily categorized by how eat them. So, say shelling peas. The English are garden peas. Howard the Duck in the back. It could be. It could be. Scared. It might be lurking. Yeah. Oh, hello, hi there. Right now we're talking about garden peas, but we were having theology discussions earlier. We had good talks, and we talked about conspiracy theories earlier too. All right. These grown into seeds inside pods that are too tough for fibrous to eat. They're typically harvested when pods plumb in full. Green arrow, a high productive variety known for long, slender pods. Little marvel and heirloom dwarf variety that stays productive. Yeah. Wonderful to see you again, too, Zombie. Always great to see you. Right. And hi there. And we've been, yeah, shout out to you, Zombie. All right. So we're just going to different type of peas. Okay. Wando, the famous for its heat tolerance, allowing it to grow longer into the summer than most other peas. And there is the Alderman tall telephone, a classic tall heirloom that can grow over 5 feet tall and requires trellising. These hybrid shelling and snow peas, they have thick, crunch, edible pods and are very sweet. Sugar Snap, the original variety that won the gold medal in 1979. Sugar Daddy, a popular stringless variety that grows on short, self-supporting vines. Sugar Magnolia, a striking purple snap pea that adds vibrant color to the garden. Oh, Zombie, I'll definitely check that out. Definitely. Well, thank you. Hi there. I appreciate it. Snow peas have peas help the nitrogen in the soil, like clovers do. Have flat, tender pods and are harvested while the seed inside are still very small, and they are staple in the stir fries. Mammoth melting sugar, known for large, sweet, tender pods. The Oregon sugar pod, favorite among gardeners for being highly productive and juicy. Oh, okay. Yeah, it definitely will help you out with the name. Yes. And the dwarf prairie sugar, a small vine that produces an abundant flat peas and gets out of control. A good name for the chipmunk would be Buttons. That'd be a nice name for him. And Roman suggests Chopper. That's cool too. Or Waffles. All right, and let's see. The shelling edible pond. Okay, let's see. Uh, Peas help the soil. My pleasure, zombie. All right, so let's see peas help soil. Pretty amazing, but peas and leguminous are natural fertilizer factories for the garden. When most plants just take nutrients from the soil, peas actively give it back. Nitrogen fixation. Magic. Nitrogen is the most nice. Yeah. Nitrogen is fixation magic. Nitrogen is the most important nutrient plant in growth. It's what makes the leaves green and strong. Most plants can't use the nitrogen that's floating in the air, but peas have a superpower. The partnership peas team up with specific soil bacteria called the rhizobium. The process, these bacteria live tiny bumps on the pea plant's roots and grab nitrogen from the air and turn into a form and plant can eat. Lori said, "Zombie, that is cool. I rescued Chipmunk from one of her cats when I was a kid, and he was just in shock. Not wonder, so he was able to return to the forest later that day." Oh, that's a very touching story, Lori. Oh yeah, chicken and steer. Yeah, I use chicken manure on my garden. I haven't used it uh, this time yet, but yes, chicken manure definitely does help. Built in green manure. When pea season is over, many gardeners don't pull the plants out by the roots. Instead, They chop them down at the base and leave roots group or rot. As these roots decompose, as the fixed nitrogen is released into dirt. This makes the soil much richer for the next plant you grow there, heavy feeding tomatoes or corn. This is where they often use as a cover crop. Scared. Yeah, scared. All right. Improving soil structure. The aeration, the pea roots are relatively deep and fibrous. As they grow, they create tiny channels in the soil that help air and water reach deeper down. Organic matter. When the plant dies, it's tilted back into the earth and adds human organic material, which helps sandy soil hold water and clay drain better. Yeah, cover crops. Weed suppression. If you grow a thick carpet of field peas or winter peas, they grow so fast and dense that smoother weeds before they can even start, keeping your garden beds clean for the next season. If you're planting peas for the first time, a new garden bed, you can buy inoculant to coat your seeds. It guarantees the nitrogen fixing process like kicks into the higher gear immediately. Pro tip: if you are planting peas for the first time in a new garden bed, you can buy an inoculant powder containing rhizo- rhizobium bacteria to coat the seeds. It guarantees the nitrogen fixing process kicks into gear immediately. Oh, hello, Frog. Well, thank you, Frog. I'm glad that you love it. It is I wore it a lot of times when it's stormy because it helps me outside, but I always wear it on the phone lives now, the pirate hat now. So arg, yeah. Ron said, I think I read somewhere that bananas share a good amount of genetics DNA makeup that matches with humans around 65%, right? Oh, yeah, I'll get the exact analysis here, but yeah, that's true. I thought it was 98%, but let's see what it is. You are correct, Roman. You're correct. The common factoid humans share about 50% to 60% of their DNA with bananas is partially true, but highly misleading depending on how you measure it. Well, we share 60% of your genes with banana plant. Those genes only make up about 2% of your total DNA. When research compares actual DNA sequencing base by base across genome, the similarity drops to roughly 1%. All right. Why 60% number is popular. The 60% figure refers to the homologous genes, genes that have recognizable match in both science because they species because they perform similar functions. Housekeeping genes. Humans and bananas share a common ancestor from billions of years ago. Because of this, we both use the same genetic instructions for basic life functions like the cell division, DNA replication, processing energy. Yeah, Lori, maybe you're part alien. You like uh, the galactic peas instead. Protein similarity, even among those shared genes, the proteins they produce are typically only about 40% of identical in their amino acid sequences. To put that 60% into perspective, and let's see, other humans, 99.9. Significant 0.1% of that counts for individual variation. Chimpanzees, 98%. Our closest living evolutionary relatives, according to the internet. And mice, 85%, share high similarity in protein coding regions. Fruit flies, 60%, use heavily medical research due to shared disease genes. Is 60% of genes represents the most basic building blocks for multicellular life. The remaining 40% of our genes, along with the vast non coding section of our DNA, contain the complex instructions for things like building nervous system, muscles, brain, and obviously black. So those are the ones that we have there. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the original bananas had this concept where they were able to, produce more often. They had these big seeds in them. That was another issue about bananas. Like they were able to have these big seeds in them, and they weren't able to exactly be eaten regularly. And it's also a type of berry, also. But bananas are really good. I've had bananas before from the banana tree. I mean, from the banana bush. Right. And let's see here. Okay, and let's go this way. And yeah, okay. So yeah, but bananas are also, I think, very good for the health. A lot of people don't like. Some people don't like bananas, but I think they're pretty good. And I think having trees like Shottsbury Toodles, having trees like that is very good in general. To have grown. Okay. So also, let's see different color bananas. Shots for all the likes. Appreciate it. Well, let's see. Explain the species. Okay, this thing's being stupid, so we're just gonna go just do this again. Okay. There's red, blue, purple, and even striped bananas. There's a blue Java ice cream banana. The variety is very famous for silvery Donia banana before going outside when mosquitoes are really active because it makes them seem. Oh, I didn't know that. It's like a mosquito magnet. Okay, scared. Eventually fades in yellow in its flesh. It's snowy white when it has texture flavor similar to vanilla custard. So it makes it seem delicious to them. Right. Red banana. These have thick reddish purple or maroon skin. The flesh inside is often pale, pink or orange, and is typically sweeter and softer, standard yellow than bananas. Pink bananas, a wild ornamental species known for its fuzzy, bright pink fruit. Unlike common bananas, these peel themselves when ripe. They contain hard seeds that can be rough on teeth. Variegated tiger. Bananas, some are rare types like Aya Aya or tiger banana, feature unique green and white striped skins and variegated leaves. Purple and black. Certain species can appear dark purple or almost black when fully mature, such as manzano, apple banana, which is at its best flavor once the skin turns completely black. And the color ripening for the standard commercial bananas like the Cavendish color serves as a guide to ripeness and nutrition profile. Green, the unripe high restraint search starch and lower in sugar. Yellow ripe, starch has converted to sugar, making them sweeter and easier to digest. Spotted brown, very ripe, highest natural sugar coat, ideal for baking or quick energy. All right, so those are different facts of bananas. Let's see. And at this point in time, we have completed the stream, and we will be, live later on at some point. I appreciate you all for coming. Thank you all for being here, and peace.